What's up, guys? It's Par73, and I am going to bring to you today the Dapper Dan squad versus the Etherials, a round 2 match, the first of the bottom bracket matches between these two teams who unfortunately lost their first matches that they played, and now they're going to face off. So let's jump right into it. And here we are on King of the Map, Drowned Empire. As you'll notice, this is round 2, the second week of the tournament. And in round 2, they are using the same maps that were used in round 1. And here we are on King of the Map, Drowned Empire. So let's take a look at the teams over here. We have a much smaller game than before. Both of these teams lost last week, as I stated. And they both lost to teams where they allowed substitutes. Now notice both these teams are so small, they obviously did not opt to have substitutes for either team. So it should be interesting to see how these games, and especially this first game, plays out in just a 4v4 format. You can have up to 7 teammates in a game. But let's go to the teams here. We have no master capping for the Etherials. Their captain Ether is not present. Then we have Mouse Leisure, Revan, and Freak Nasty, who I believe was a new addition to the Etherials for this match. And over up here in the northwest, we have the Dapper Dan squad, constructed and captained by Switch. Then we have Vihan, Vi for Power, and New Mutator, who, if you don't know who New Mutator is, definitely go check out his channel on YouTube. He features the best myth content out there that you can watch, hands down. So let's get into the game. Switch's team is opting for only 4 whites, and over here, Ether's team opting for a couple more whites, or the Etherials, I should say, opting for 1 more white at least, so maybe they'll sink it. We'll see what happens. Dapper Dan gonna heal down every single one of these whites, melt them down, and they also have a small little soul pack going mid with their goals, controlled by New Mutator. Meanwhile, looks like Etherials are going to be sinking 2 whites, so maybe they can lead their opponents into them. And we have Mouse Leisure moving towards the north, along with Revan, who's cutting through mid. Freak Nasty's also cutting through mid, but he's heading towards the southern part of the map, along with No Master. And over on the northwest part of the map, we have Vihan. He's heading south. We have a New Mutator moving through the middle of the map with his gold pack and souls. Vi for Power, a large melee force, moving north. Vi for Power also has the largest percentage in the game, probably the most units. Vihan also has a large percentage. Notice these guys are flanking for the Dapper Dan squad. So far I don't believe any blood has been drawn, and it looks like Etherials are taking a time lead as well as a flag lead.
Flag captured.
New Mutator looks to be attempting to secure this flag over here. And they should be able to pick it up. He's using default formations. Very nicely done, very manly. Many players these days choose to make custom formations in Fear, and it can help change your style of play. It can help keep your melee closer together in a nice little tight box, so your units have less pathfinding issues when fighting other large melee groups. And we'll see No Master. he's kind of heading back a bit. He sees Vihan's large force. Him and Freak Nasty appear to be using ESP to come and meet up down here in the south. Perhaps they're on Mumble. In fact, both teams may be on Mumble, as there's little to no communication, and they seem to be freeballing it at this point. So over here we have Malsleisure maybe setting up for the White Blast over here. We'll have to come check in a sec. His new mutator gets pus. Yeah, we'll have to see how this works. He's kind of scaring him away. He's got to bring those stags down. Bring the Stigs down. Oh, and the Viper Power is going to continue taking losses here. And the White is moving in. Does he see it in time? Oh, there it is. Will he let it go? And we have a White Blast. VFP losing some units in the process. Malseizure taking a little bit of friendly fire, but only on Thrall. So the presents are pretty even over here. It looks like the southern force of No Master and Freak Nasty will be moving in. Try to take out Vihan. Technically, they have a 15% advantage on Vihan. So maybe New Mutator will come down and help. Oh, it looks like Switch did end up... so they traded for 4 whites, I believe, and they must have 2 sunk. There's one right there. Or maybe they traded for 3, I forget. But down here, we have Vihan getting pushed, while Mal continues to dance with VFP. Notice all the action is now taking place on the flanks. Pretty much has been all game. There wasn't too much action mid, as we may have seen in other games. Perhaps that's due to less players. It's more of a 2v2 on each flank. New Mutator just standing by, not coming to aid Vihan. But that's because he is attempting to tag all of these back flags over here, as the Etherials have a flag advantage, but do not lead in time. They're just shy by about a minute. They should catch up here with a 16-9 flag advantage. Percents are still really close, so... Yep, there we go. Etherials are taking the lead. They're going to continue pushing the south force. New Mutator just chilling with his gold pack and hanging out over here. We got Viper Power. He's lost a large percentage of his units. He's getting pushed around by Mal. And it appears that Revan's also tagging these northern flags, making some good moves for Etherials. Vihan's finally asking for some help. There you go. And the Mutator says, hey, just get the hell out of there, guy. Vihan looks like he might collect a couple ratios here. Let's clean up Thrall. While flags are traded. And over here in the mid, New Mutator's souls are going to try and pressure the warriors. Now remember, for those of you who may not play Myth 2 too often, the Stygian Knights do not take damage from arrows or spears, so they can also not be pussed, although the explosive part of the pus will still deal damage. They will not freeze. In fact, they kind of deal a little bit more damage because Stygian Knights happen to be very susceptible to explosions. So New Mutator is going to continue dealing some damage here. It looks like Dapper Dan will be able to control mid as Malseizure looks to save his Thrall for later tags and map control, which is a smart and safe play by him, especially with his team down 10%. Vihan getting his units chopped up a little bit here. Some clumping problems, it seems. And he's gonna get chased around the map. Even though it looks as if the percentages are fairly close, we'll take a closer look at the health of the units here, and you have, yeah, it looks like 3 low health units to only 2, 1 even. So Freak Nasty does hold the advantage, although Vihan could kite him and somehow win that melee battle.
Flag captured.
The Mutator's gold pack is now rotating towards the northeast part of the map. It looks like the Dapper Dan in general are looking to start pushing this area, take back some flags, take back some time. However, they are down a large chunk of time, if you notice. Almost 25 full minutes. There we go, 25 minutes away. I mean, that's such a large difference. With only 2 minutes left, the Dapper Dan truly have to use that percentage advantage and start running all the flags on the map.
Contested. Flag captured.
Etherials are going to lose a warrior holding a flag there.
Captured. Flag captured.
Although they will continue controlling the time on the map. We're going to have new mutators, single dwarf face off against Mal's melee here. Out of the safety range of his souls or anything else really. It looks like they might get run down. Oh, here come the Solus, and he's not going to send the Stag, so it looks like this dwarf will survive while Mal holds onto the flag. 6 goals to 2 Thrall here. The 6 goals could kill the 2 Thrall. You only need 3 goals per single Thrall if you want to be, or no, even 2. 2 can take it out, and it looks like, oh, what's this? Oh my goodness. Seems the Etherials left 1 or 2 Thrall over here, perhaps impacting the game before they realize it.
Flag captured. Flag captured. "30 seconds.
And while the Etherials control the time on the map, it looks like they are going to close out with a significant percentage at disadvantage, but a huge abundance in time. It seems they used their units wisely and were able to control a massive amount of the map at one point or another. So the game is going to close down here just about now, and we'll go through the statistics and talk about what happened. So over here we have the Etherials. No master, 1 kill, 14 losses, -8 damage. Some of that can be attributed to healing whites, especially after you heal the whites. If you don't pick up the pus, you know, you're not really giving your team a chance to turn that -3 into something productive, such as, you know, I don't know, taking out 2 dwarves. That's 12 points right there. That's a +9 unit point, unit trading point exchange, you know. But, you know, taking the brunt of the hits, not killing much, but leading his team to victory, and able to control a lot of the map. Good job, No Master. Real good stuff. You know, statistics don't mean everything. You need to really watch how the players play the games to fully understand what happened. And so we have Mal's Leisure, what I would call going middle-ish, and then being everywhere, all over the map. 11 kills, 41 damage, leading in damage in the game, 15 losses. He played pretty well. Able to help secure his team victory. Freak Nasty still has a large abundance of units remaining. I wonder if someone I think someone might have merged squads with him. It might have even been No Master. He ends the game with 10 kills, 10 losses. He was really able to control Vihan in the south, just push him wherever he wanted to. New Mutator wasn't able to help much. New Mutator ended up pushing on later, but it ended up not meaning much, as Freak Nasty was able to secure all of these flags, send more units to their back flags, and wrap around back south to resecure some flags. And last but not least, we have Revan. 8 kills, 19 losses, 28 damage. Also taking a large brunt of the enemy force, it seems. 19 losses, that's quite a bit, but on a map with units like Thrall and Goals, it's shit like that can happen. Remember him being in the north part of the map, and by the end of it, I believe I remember seeing his units in the south. I'm not quite sure. He only has 1% left, so I probably can't find him. Oh, here he is. Yeah, so after he secured those north flags, looks like he wrapped around securing these. Real good map control by the Etherials here. Albeit it's a 4-on-4, it's on a 7-on-7, but their strategy was implemented pretty well. Despite being down in flags early, they played the BC game. They lost the BC game and were able to control. Yeah, actually they weren't down in flags early. It was I'm pretty sure it was Switch's team. That was. And now, wrong again. Ethereals were down in flags, then held a large advantage, throwing away their units for time, securing the victory. That way, by the time Dapper Dan regained control of the map, it was already over. Let's go look at Dapper Dan real quick. 51 kills, 32 losses. They were able to out BC the Etherials here, although it did not result in a victory. Switch 9 and 8 with 15 damage. Seems like he played a smaller sideshow role while he let New Mutator take mid and Vhon and VFP take their respective flanks. He played a lot of I remember he played a lot of time in their back flags and also securing his own team's home flags. He did what he could here. Unfortunately, I'd say his team was outpositioned. I mean, if he had told New Mutator to perhaps go south, even though it could rain at any second, I definitely think that dwarf would have helped contain Freak Nasty's push and really just an overextension of being able to control the southern part of the map. New Mutator, he controlled mid, very nice ratios, 15 and 3, 29 damage. Later on, he was able to, make some moves to try to get back some time for the Dapper Dan. It just didn't work out in his team's favor. Vhon, he had the Southern Force, kind of got pushed around, ended up winning the kill to loss battle, I suppose. But I believe he should have asked for help earlier, or maybe snuck 1 or 2 units around to try to help his team control these flags a little bit more and try to split up the bulk of the Freak Nasty force, which was really driving ground and territory for the Etherials. And last but not least, we have Vibe the Power. He had that northern flank. Seems like he ran into trouble against Revan, and Mal. I believe Mal was up north as well before he floated back to mid. And playing 2v1 is pretty tough. I'm sure getting whited didn't help either. Overall, though, he held his ground. He tried to do what he could for his team. I believe the north flags for Dapper Dan were controlled more efficiently than the southern one, so there's at least a notch on his belt. He also inflicted, I should say, the most damage for his team against the Etherials. So with Game 1 going to the Etherials' favor, we will move on to Game 2 and see how the rest of the series pans out. Stay tuned and stop by again.
Game.